Hello, my name is Lila Mandzyk, and I am an artist. And also, today I am impersonating Frida Kahlo. Impersonating means that I am pretending to be Frida Kahlo, the artist, who was born in the beginning of the century. I'm an art teacher and an artist, and I created this work. I also created this self-portrait. I looked in the mirror and using oil paints, I painted this. The artist Frida Kahlo painted this, and she has many other paintings. I'm going to show some of them. This is a self-portrait, and she has a monkey in it. And that's her name, Frida Kahlo. And she had like a unibrow, so that's why I have this unibrow on my face. And she wore flowers in her hair. She wore earrings and necklaces, and she was very extravagant. She was from Mexico. Her father was German and Hungarian, and her mother was Mexican. And when she was little, she had polio in her right leg. So she had a limp. Then, to make matters worse, when she was a teenager, she was on a trolley bus and it got hit by a truck. And she had the rail from the trolley car impaled in her abdomen. Her painting is about her suffering. She met Diego Rivera, an Mexican muralist, and she married him in the year 1929. I'm sorry, yes, 1929. She marries Diego Rivera and moves to Mexico City. And she was born in 1907. The accident from the trolley bus left her spine damaged, so she wore a brace made out of plaster. And in this painting, the self-portrait, she expresses her pain on wearing the brace. This is a nude. And this is a painting called Roots. Here it's a surrealist painting. Surrealism means the intense, irrational reality of a dream. So she has flowers growing from her vines, and she's on a rock, and you can see her face. Here are a painting called Two Fridas, and she shows their hearts connected. Here she is wearing like a wedding gown, and here she is wearing normal clothing. Here's a self-portrait which is similar to the one that I want you to do. You look in the mirror and you drew a portrait of yourself. This is a painting of Frida Kahlo with her hair in bows with butterflies, a monkey by her side, a cat over here, and thorns on her neck. So it's similar to the self-portrait that I did, and it's similar to the self-portrait that I'd like you to do. This is a self-portrait that I did. And just like she has these personal symbols around her, a symbol means a representation of something. So here I have the Ukrainian flag because I'm Ukrainian, not Mexican, even though I'm dressed up like a Mexican, Frida Kahlo. So it's the flag, it's blue and yellow. You can do a flag of your nationality. If you're Puerto Rican, you can put the Puerto Rican flag. If you're American, you put the American flag. If you find out from your parents that you are something else, you can find out what the flag of that country is and put it on the bottom. So in the next segment of this show, I'm going to do painting with you. I have acrylic paints, and you can use watercolor or acrylic or tempera paints. So we're going to do that in the next segment. So thank you for listening, and I'll be with you shortly. Hi again, this is Lila Mandzyk, and we were talking about Frida Kahlo, and today we're going to paint with Frida Kahlo images in mind. So I have these paints put on the palette. You can use an old plate. You can use tempera paint or acrylic paint or even watercolor. And you just squeeze a little on the plates or the palette. Here is green. Have some paper towels beside you. Also, use newspaper underneath the table so that you don't get the table dirty. And have a paper towel available and a jar of water. And of course, your brushes. You want small and medium brushes. So I have this water here. I can put it into the watercolor to make the colors come out. You just mix a little water with the watercolors to let them come out. Whoa. Be careful, don't drop your water or drink it. So we are going to start with a piece of paper. You want a heavy paper for paints because they're liquid and they absorb into the paper. So you don't want to use ditto paper. That's not very good. You want a heavier paper. You can even take cardboard and paint it white and then paint on it if you'd like. So for the first part of this section on painting, I'm going to talk about Mexicanism. Mexicanism is a name made up by Frida Kahlo's husband, Diego Rivera, and other Mexican artists to describe the style of their paintings. They were proud of their Mexican history and culture and showed it in their work. It was important to them to separate and distinguish their art from others. In this project, you will paint a self-portrait from a mirror that reveals your own particular culture and heritage. Make a list of the things that remind you of your family history or where your family is from. It could be a country or state, a religion or tradition, food or music, colors or flags, a flower or an animal, etc. Paint a self-portrait sitting in front of a mirror and include some of the things you listed that portray your heritage. So the first thing I'm going to do is create my skin tone. No one is perfectly white. We're more of a peach color or a tan color or a brown color. No one is black. They're tan or brown. So to make tan or brown skin, you take a little bit of black, mix it with white, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, and a little bit of green. To make olive skin like I have, more like a Mediterranean color, you put yellow and white and green, and you mix all these colors together until you get a color that matches your own skin. I put a little bit of black in it, a little bit of red. Then I get this color that's kind of like makeup. If your mom has makeup, you'll see that it's similar. And you can test it on your hand and see that it's almost the same. So I'm going to start with a circle. That makes the face. And I'm making the forehead. So you start with an oval. And as you can see, I have olive skin, so I put a little bit of a green tinge to it. That's made by yellow ochre. Ochre is a type of yellow. A little bit of green. A little bit of white. And some red. Green and red make brown. So I have this brownish color. To make the lips, you use a little bit of red and a little bit of white. You can add a little bit of blue, just a touch. Just a touch is all you need. And make it a little bit of purpley, a little. Red and blue make purple. So it's like almost like a lilac color. You can take a little bit of black and make the lips. Then you take black and you make the eyebrows. To make the eyebrows, you make the individual hairs Frida Kahlo had a unibrow. Her hair on her forehead grew together where her nose was. That's why I have it makeup like that. To make the eyes, you make the ovals, and then you put an iris in. My eyes are brown, so I will use a little bit of the ochre with some black and a little bit of red and green to make brown. Leave a little light in the eye, a little sparkle. Then you put a pupil in. And you make eyelids. To make a nose, you draw 2 lines. Then you draw a wavy line like that. To make the hair, you can use zigzags. This looks more like an African American person than me. That's just how it turned out. Ears. Fun costume jewelry. It probably turned out this way because I'm not using a mirror. So I'm painting somebody that I have no idea who. But it is somebody. It's okay if it doesn't look like you exactly. But you do want to use a mirror when you do this. You can use a stand-up mirror, or you can use your dresser. So that is how we paint my self-portrait. Hi everybody. My name is Lila Mandzyk, and I'm talking about Frida Kahlo. And as we talked about in the first section, she was born in 1907, July 6th, in a suburb of Mexican City. She contracted polio. She attended school. She barely survived a bus accident with broken bones and severe injuries. She was in bed for months recovering. That's when she started painting to ease her pain and boredom. And her family made an easel on the bed where she could lie down and paint. She showed in many places. She showed in Paris, in New York City, and in Mexico. In Mexico, she had an exhibition towards the end of her life, and she came in on an ambulance and set up a bed and greeted all her guests. from her bed, and she had a wonderful exhibit in Mexico City. Her paintings sell for millions of dollars. And she sold a little bit of work in her lifetime. So, as you can see, I painted this portrait of an African American lady. And I used brown colors for the skin with a little bit of olive. As you can see, she painted herself the same every time, and a little bit different, slightly different. Here's a full portrait of her face. She had a little bit of a mustache, and she had hair growing in between her eyebrows. Her skin was a little bit yellow, a little bit orange. She was Mexican, half, so she had tan skin. And she had black hair, and she put her monkey in there. So I am going to create a symbol of African American pride. A little bit of green. You might want to wear gloves when you're painting because your hands get dirty. And remember to have a paper towel or pen or paper with you to get spills. You can change your water if you want to halfway through while it becomes muddy. So that's Africa, African colors. Now I'm going to paint a mask because it's relevant to the times that we're living in, these terrible times of virus where everyone has to wear a mask in public. So I'm putting a mask over my face. Remember, keep 6 feet apart from people and wash your hands all the time and use sanitizing liquid. Also wash frequently. Touched counters and tables with disinfecting liquid, like Lysol. Also, color the background of your painting. The background can be a color or it can be plants and flowers. Here you can see that she has a leaf and some plant material here, and some plant material here, and a monkey. So I'm going to paint the background of this painting with leaves. So I take green, a little bit of yellow. Try, when you're painting, try to make the colors a little different from fresh out of the tube. So mix a little bit of some other color in it so that it's not paint that's fresh out of the tube. It's mixed already with other colors. So I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and put it in there. Color mixing is very important. It's an art in itself. I happen to be very good at color mixing. It's with a lot of practice. So try to put some symbols behind your self-portrait that are personal to you. That means that have some meaning to you. I'm going to put the trident, the Ukrainian trident, in this painting. And that's all. It was so nice to be with you for half an hour, showing you Frida Kahlo and my painting. So do a self-portrait and enjoy it. Thank you for watching.